Good afternoon, students. Today we will study fractions and decimals. Now, in class 6, up to class 6, you all have studied that fraction is a part of whole. That is, if we consider the whole denominator and numerator as one, then fraction is any one part of this whole. Now, come to the next. Now, we are going to study further in terms of natural number, that is any natural number which can be represented in the form of p by q, provided the condition is q denominator will never be equal to 0 because it is not defined. You have studied in the previous chapter, is known as fraction. For example, you can see 1 by 2, 2 by 3. You have also seen that the numerator, you can observe from this that numerator is smaller than the denominator, so they are kind of proper fraction. Actually, this is considered as a part of whole, that is one part from 2. This is the fraction. 2 part from 3, so this is also a fraction. Now you can see from the given figure that if we consider this whole square as one part and shade this half part, this is known as 1 by 2 part. And similarly, in this rectangle also, you can see that if we divide this whole rectangle into 3 equal parts and shade any 2 equal parts out of 3 boxes, then what we see that this 2 by 3 is one of the fraction. Now come to types of fraction. These all things we have already studied, we are just recalling it. First one is proper fraction. As I have already told in the definition of this fraction, that the fraction in which numerator is smaller than the denominator, that is known as proper fraction. It is always considered as a part of whole. So for example, 3 by 4, 5 by 9, all these are proper fraction. Now come to next type of fraction, that is improper fraction. The fraction in which numerator is equal to or greater than the denominator, it is known as improper fraction. You can see in these 3 by 3, here numerator and denominator both are equal. Then 7 by 4, in this case numerator is greater than the denominator. 11 by 9, numerator is greater than the denominator. These are the examples of improper fraction. You can notice one more thing from this. If the numerator is greater than the denominator, it can also be converted into one more form of fraction. By dividing 7 by 4 or 11 by 9, we get another form of fraction, that is known as mixed fraction. Now come to mixed fraction. An improper fraction can be written as combination of the whole part and the fraction part. So we can see, let us take one of the example of improper fraction, that is 4 by 3. Here the first thing that we need to notice is 4 is greater than 3, that is numerator is greater than 3. We divide 4 by 3, what we see, the remainder is 1, quotient is 1. So this whole is converted into whole and fraction part. So 1 is the whole part, 1 by 3 is the fraction part. This is known as mixed fraction. Now come to the main topic that we are going to start in your class 7 is addition and subtraction of fraction. Let us start from examples. Let us consider one part as the whole part, 2 is the whole number, and 5 by 6 as the proper fraction. If we add these two fractions, what we need to do is first find the LCM of 1 and 6. You can use another method also of converting it into equivalent fraction. Then we add the by taking the LCM, what we will do, 6 divided by 1 multiplied by 2, we get 12, and this 5 will remain as it is. We get the answer as 17 by 6. Now convert it into mixed form, since it's improper fraction, so convert it into mixed form. Come to another example. Here we see that these type of fractions are unlike fractions. Why? Because the denominators are different. So first thing that you need to convert is to find the LCM of 3 and 5. The LCM of 3 and 5 is 15. You can easily find it. Now convert both the fractions into equivalent fractions whose denominator is 15. So 2 by 3 can be multiplied by 5 to convert it into equivalent fraction. We get 10 by 15. Now similarly 4 by 5, the equivalent form is 12 by 15. Add both of the fractions since it becomes like fraction, so add the numerator, the denominator will be 15 itself, and the answer will be 4 whole 2 by 15. Now come to next example, that is subtraction. Here also we have considered one of the example in which we subtract the proper fraction from whole part. Now what we need to do is same manner. The only difference is that in this case we will subtract. We will find the LCM of 1 and 5. So it is 5. Now similar in the same way, divide 5 by 1 and then multiply it by 3. We get 15 minus 1. So the answer is 2 whole 4 by 5. Now the next case of subtraction is subtracting two proper fractions. Okay, in both the cases the numerators are smaller than the denominator. First we need to find the LCM of 5 and 7, then find the equivalent fractions of both the proper fractions in which the denominator is 35, then simply subtract it. What we will get? We will get 18 by 35. Since it's a proper fraction, no need to convert it into mixed form. Now let us start the exercise. Since we have solved the questions in examples, so 1, 2, the first, second and third part you can do it yourself as done in the examples. We will start from fourth part, that is 9 by 11 minus 4 by 15. First see that both are proper fraction, both are unlike fractions. So what we will do, find the LCM of 11 and 15. It's 165. Now find the equivalent fractions of both the proper fractions. So what we will get? Equivalent fraction of 9 by 11 is 130 by 165. Equivalent fraction of 4 by 15 is 44 by 65. So next step you will subtract it by subtracting, since both are equivalent fractions. So subtracting it, we get 91 upon 165. This is your answer. Now in fifth part, what we need to do is, first thing that we see is all the three are unlike fractions. In all three cases they are proper fractions. Okay, this and this is proper fraction while this is improper. So what you will do, first find the LCM of the denominator, that is 10, 5 and 2. It is 10. So now find the equivalent fractions of all the three types of fraction. We see that equivalent fractions are 4 by 10, 15 by 10, and next is itself, that is 7 by 10. Now come to next. Substitute all the equivalent fractions and it's a simple addition. So it's 13 by 5. So the answer is 2 whole 3 by 5. Similarly in 6th and 7th part, both are mixed fractions. So what we need to do, first convert mixed fraction into improper fraction, then add and subtract as we have done in earlier cases. Now come to question number 2. In question number 2, we have to arrange the given fractions into descending order. Descending means from bigger to smaller. So all the three fractions are proper fractions and unlike fractions. So first thing what we need to do is find the LCM of 5, 7 and 10. Okay, so 5, 7 and 10. So its LCM is, you can see from here, its LCM is 70. Now next step, find the equivalent fraction of all three types of fraction, that is 1 by 5, 3 by 7, 7 by 10. We see that 14, 30, 49 is in the numerator and 70 is in the denominator. So arrange them in descending order. 49 is the greatest, then 30, then 14. Then write the original form of the question, that is 7 by 10 is greater than 3 by 7 is greater than 1 by 5. For question number 3, I have given the hint, that is all the given fractions are equivalent. So add along each row and each column and both the diagonals. If all the sum is same, then they form the magic square. The question of magic square we have also done in the previous exercises, so I am not going in depth. Now come to question number 4. In question number 4, it is given that length of the rectangular sheet, width of the rectangular sheet. What we need to find is, we need to find the perimeter of the rectangular sheet. We have studied the formula to find the perimeter of the rectangle, that is 2 into L plus B. So substitute all these values and solve as we have solved earlier. Now come to question number 5. The figure is given. We have to, from the figure, we need to find the perimeter of the triangle, perimeter of the rectangle, and then we have to compare which one is greater. In triangle, what you need to do, sum up all the three sides. Since all are of the same unit, that is centimeter, so no need to convert into different unit. Similarly, in the case of rectangle also, you need to find, as we have done in the previous question, and then compare the perimeters. Now come to question number 6. This is a good question. Width of the picture is given. It's 7 hole 3 by 5 centimeter, and the frame is given. Okay, this is the picture and this is the frame. To paste the picture inside the frame, the picture should be smaller so that we can fit the picture inside the frame. But we see that in the question, the picture is, the width of the picture is greater than the width of the frame. So what we will do, we have to trim the picture so that it can be easily fitted inside the frame. So what we will do, subtract it, and we see that if 3 by 10 centimeter is subtracted, the picture is trimmed, it will fit inside the frame. Okay, now come to the next question. In next question, it is given that one apple is there. Ritu ate 3 by 5 part of that apple, that is 1. We divide this into 5 equal parts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Ritu ate 3 by 5 part. So how much portion is left? 2 by 5 portion is left. So Sonu's part will be 1 whole minus 3 by 5, that is 2 by 5. You can see from the picture also. Now thus Ritu had the larger share because she is eating third part and Sonu is eating 2 part, and we also need to find how much part Ritu ate larger. So we will subtract it and we will get 1 by 5 part of that Ritu's apple. Now come to next. It is given that the picture is given and Michael takes 7 by 12 hours to color this whole picture, but Vaibhav took 3 by 4 hours to complete the picture. Okay, now we need to compare who took longer time to color the picture. So for that, what we need to do, we will compare the time, that is 7 by 12 and 3 by 4. Same process, both are unlike fractions. So first step, find the LCM of 4 and 12. It's 12. Convert it into equivalent form. We see that by converting into equivalent fractions, one is 7 by 12, another is 9 by 12. So we can see 9 is greater than 7. So Vaibhav worked longer, and by how much? Subtract the time. So it's 1 by 6 part. So Vaibhav worked 1 by 6 part longer than the Michael. Okay. So thus we have completed the exercise. Thank you, students.